All right, good morning and happy Thanksgiving. How you doing there, brother?
Man, I'm good. I'm good. I'm realizing I'm looking kind of rough, though. I should have put on a Trump hat.
Fair play, fair play.
Yeah, that's always an improvement.
Um, I'm actually gonna adjust my frame a little bit. There we go.
Hey, so it's Thanksgiving, man, and things to be thankful for: coffee and my awesome coffee cup that this fantastic family that I just happened to know got me for my birthday.
Well, and may the force be with you. Steve says Cameron looks like a stoner chick. That's a fair analogy, Steve.
Oh,
So, all right, good morning. It is Turkey Day, and let me tell you something. We are not messing around about Turkey Day at my house. Well, more correctly, next door at my mother's house. But we're having Thanksgiving. In fact, it's it's kind of a funny turn because it's it's the first time that we've gotten certain. We had some drama a couple years ago and have not done the big Thanksgiving and the big Christmas the way we used to for a little while. And oh, I'll get to that, Steve. We haven't done the big celebrations the way that we used to for some time, and this year, well, we're going to get a whole lot of beautiful people together and flip a bird to the system and say, no, tread on me at your peril.
yeah, because honestly,
I will eat your
honestly,
feet.
okay. Because honestly, life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. Okay, why do you have life? Why is it a natural right, a God given right? And so you can have liberty. Why do you have liberty? Why is it a God given right? So you can pursue happiness. And frankly, what's the point? Why are we all trying to beat the virus if we're not allowed to get together with our friends and family on one of the most sacred days in American history? See, there's a thing to be thankful for: wives that bring you eggs.
My hot young wife just brought me two egg omelets and and a titanium spork.
Why not just make one 4 egg omelet?
It throws off the consistency. The texture's wrong. It doesn't work right.
So you're going to eat on air.
Yes, it's Thanksgiving, and we don't mess around about consuming delightful little.
And you didn't hear her, but I did. She said she's not hot and young.
Oh, no.
Just going to have to somewhat disagree. Women never
as
look at
evidence to
themselves the way
support
that
the
we do.
as evidence to support the claims of my advanced age, you're correct. I did not hear her.
Man, the women folk never look at themselves the way that we do, though, do they? Just
They
never.
don't. They don't, and it's unfortunate because we're right. My wife has frequently commented that on how often it is that I am right about everything else. And babe, I promise, I'm right about this too. Hot sauce. And she was just in earshot to hear me say all that. Yes, I will have some hot sauce on my eggs cooked fluffy. Have you ever seen the VeggieTales movie, I guess, short video, whatever. The VeggieTales episode where it's a ripoff of Hamlet, but it's called Omelet and it's all about the light fluffy eggs. We will have egg, and all the people shall have eggs cooked light and fluffy.
So, this morning, why do we have a Thanksgiving? Well,
It's
the
because
story.
a bunch of white people came over here and found red men and murdered them all with infected blankets. You know, hundreds of years before germ theory made the possibility of functional germ warfare a reality. And completely against all the other evidence. It's because of racism.
Well, what's the story that we're taught that that the Pilgrims that came over, they were totally inept, that the benevolent Indians helped them, that Squanto should be one of the nation's original heroes.
The benevolent Indians who were never ever cannibals or slaveholders.
Never, never. There were different tribes of Indians that had different levels of, shall we say, civility.
My wife is Comanche. They invented scalping.
Yes. Yes. And it's part of why things like the 1619 Project just irk the absolute shit out of me. Because yes, Jamestown was established in 1619, and but that's not the only settlement here. There was another one established in 1620, and that one really bears looking at, because we're never told the complete truth about that. So you have these pilgrims that had honest to God religious persecution in England, like awful stuff. So they moved to Holland because they wanted to be able to practice their religion. And then they heard about the New World and decided, you know what, we'll take the chance. We'll go establish a colony in the New World, and we will practice our religion as we see fit. So they get the sponsors, they get the Mayflower. They spend 66 days at sea, land in New England in November. And because they had sponsors to pay back, and because they had people to take care of, the people on the boat drew up the Mayflower Compact. Now, we all know that there was this thing called the Mayflower Compact, but so many of us don't know what was in the Mayflower Compact. And what was in the Mayflower Compact was socialism. I kid you not. Centuries before Karl Marx was even born, socialism. Basically, the Mayflower Compact stated that everything that was produced would go into a storehouse, and everybody got an equal share from the storehouse. And that first winter was hard, because winters in New England can be hard anyway. I've heard that it can get cold back in Maine. To be fair, they didn't land in Maine; they landed in New York. But winters in New York, in Northeast, can be tough, and this winter was brutal. About half the colonists died. And yes, the Indians did help them. That is definitely part of the story. But it's not the Indians that saved them. They were governed by a man named William Bradford, who was a devoutly religious man that sincerely believed that the Mayflower Compact was divinely inspired, that this whole fairness and sharing thing was the way to go, and his error cost him about half of his colony, including his own wife. By the time March rolled around and things started to thaw out, so many of them had died of starvation or exposure. It's really difficult to comprehend the level of hardship that these people went through. A 66-day boat ride just to land and immediately have people start freezing to death. Immediately. And Chris and I were talking before the show. I think guys that have had like Spetsnaz training and and Navy SEAL training, they're probably the ones that can come the closest to the level of hardship as far as like a literal understanding of what these people endured. But you know, if you're going through Navy SEAL training and they accidentally break you, well, they can send you to the hospital, right? There were no hospitals in the New World. There was nothing. A broken bone was functionally a death sentence. And these people endured. And William Bradford realized this was not going to work. This colony was going to collapse. They were coming to the point to where there were literally not enough able-bodied men left in order to do the work that needed doing. Like somebody had to plow the field. And there were just fewer bodies to do it. So Bradford said, okay, you know what? We're going to do something completely different. Everybody gets a plot of land. You do whatever you want with that plot of land. And then we will trade our extra with one another. And it saved everything. Before the concept of the free market, before the concept of capitalism or socialism or communism or Marxism, all these things that we just take for granted, that everybody knows and understands, at least to a lesser degree. William Bradford experimented with both systems and was nearly ruined by the collectivism and was saved by the free market. And yes, the Indians teaching us how to trap the beavers and how to fish for cod, and, you know, how magical corn can be in American soil. All that's very true. Very, very true. But the thing that really turned the corner was voluntary cooperation, including with the Indians. You want to call Squanto a hero? Fine. Call Squanto a hero. But you also
he was a capitalist hero.
Right. And you have to include William Bradford on that list. A devout man of God that decided the best way to have faith was to trust the free market. And he was right. So all of you with your 1619 projects and whatnot, you can all piss up a rope. Because I am thankful for my home. As some of you know, I had to move recently. I had to downsize, as it were. And I love my house. It's mine. I am thankful for the fact that I get to work a lot of hours and barely afford everything. That is a blessing. That's not a curse. That is a blessing. Because the alternative is not being able to afford everything. I get to work overtime every week. I get to participate in the free market. I get to voluntarily give my labor over in exchange for financial compensation so that I can be self-sufficient. I am thankful that Donald Trump is still the president, at least for the moment. I'm thankful I got friends like you. I'm thankful I've got a room full of kids downstairs making a ton of noise as they play video games. I'm thankful that when I get off the phone with you, I've got some grits and eggs waiting on me. And I'm very genuinely thankful to God Almighty for all the blessings that we have, seen and unseen.
And guys, do me a favor. You're watching. I'm thrilled to have all of you with us. My wife's watching. Steve and Patrick are here. My Uncle Steve, Danny, Krista. Love you guys. It's fantastic to have this audience. I am thankful for this audience, and I would like to ask the audience who's watching live to say it in the comments. What are you thankful for today? What are you going to tell us about what you're going to be doing today? And I'll read some of those live in just a minute. Personally, I'm thankful for a lot of things. I'm thankful I made it back from the sandbox. I'm thankful that I have these great hearing aids, which can overcome, my experience in the sand. Because without my hearing aids in, all I hear is, sand. Everything sounds like exploding sand. But yeah, I'm thankful. I'm thankful to have good food in my fridge. I'm thankful to have a nice house to live in. I'm extraordinarily thankful for my 4 beautiful children and my hot young wife. I'm incredibly thankful to be living next door to my parents, my wonderful parents, who I'm gonna go have Thanksgiving dinner with later today. It's a hell of a great time to be alive. Despite all the noise in the politics right now, it's a hell of a great time to be alive, and I would rather do it in no other country than this one. Now, as you know, I don't want to meander too far off into politics. We have work to do. That's a fact. We have work to do to get our country back to where it's supposed to be. But I'm thankful that we and I are strong enough and smart enough to do that work.
And it will be work.
And hey, don't get it twisted. I've done a lot of work that was a hell of a lot of fun. And the work that we have in mind going forward is going to be a hell of a lot of fun.
Another thing, just kind of in thinking and really ruminating and allowing the sentimentality to overtake me. Have you ever read George Washington's original Thanksgiving Day Proclamation?
Mm-hmm.
He mentions thanking God like literally 10 or 12 times in that proclamation. And what's funny is there was already the separation of church and state, which, as those of us who are actually somewhat learned in the Constitution understands that means that there could not be an endorsement of religion by the federal government, not the fact that the federal government was not allowed to participate in religion. That's a lie. But that sort of thing, it wouldn't fly now. Like, even Donald Trump, can you picture Donald Trump giving a similar speech? I mean, I can actually picture Donald Trump giving a similar speech. But just how upset.
But no, the fallout. I know what you mean. The fallout in the cartel media would be American Pravda. O'Keefe hit the nail on the head with that one. American Pravda.
But please believe that this is supposed to be a spiritual day. It is supposed to have the religious undertones. It's not just, oh, yay, we get a day off work and we're all going to get together and eat turkey and watch the Lions get their ass whooped on TV. No. It is supposed to be a day where you think about what came before you and you think about what is now and you think about what will come after you. And you are thankful to the Almighty Creator for the fact that you got to be just participate in this much of it. You might just be the next link in the chain, but you got to be a link in the chain.
Or a brick in the wall.
Trying not to go black-pilled this morning, sir. I'm trying to keep it positive.
Hey, mom's just joined us, and so has Stephen Ritter. Stephen Ritter's a personal favorite of mine among our viewers, because he is the father of one of my favorite battle buddies that went down range with me, an outstanding war fighter who went on to do the warrant officer program. And Zach, I hope you're doing well too, brother. I don't even know where he is. I think he's gone from Mister to Chief by now. But Chief Ritter, not only an outstanding soldier, but an outstanding spear fisherman and hunter. I mean, just talk about an all around grade A American. Um, Glad to see you, Stephen, and I'm thankful that I had your son downrange with me. Like I said, outstanding grade A American warfighter. I appreciate you lending him to me for that year. So do let me read some of these thankfuls. Maul says hi to you and me, Cameron.
Excellent. I love your mom.
Good morning, Maul. I love you. Uncle Steve says he's thankful that we have this forum, and I appreciate that, and I agree. Even here, even our little channel, we've run up against the ban hammer a couple times. In the nearly 6 years that we've been doing this channel, I have personally had to write responses and rebuttals to the lawyers from Fox, CNN, MSNBC, Disney. If you can think of a big, important, scary name with big, important, scary lawyers, I have, as a result of this YouTube channel, had to write fair use defenses and copyright rebuttals. And I have won all of them. That's multiple claims by multiple big firms. And I've had more than one claim from some of these big firms. And I have sat here and written my letter of rebuttal to the lawyers, and they have said, "Yeah, no, we're good."
Well, I mean, what we do is the definition of fair use.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like, we literally add commentary. Everything that we've ever done on this channel has been transformative in nature.
Absolutely. Maul says, I am thankful for my wonderful family, both by blood and choice. And we are incredibly grateful for Maul and the several turkeys that we will be consuming in the next few hours. Steve says, we don't need no education. Boy, is that a whole conversation by itself right there, because what is education? I'm gonna leave that one. I appreciate the comment. I appreciate the comedy of it. Steve also said, I'm thankful for this little... Say again?
I said, but we're trying to avoid the rabbit holes today.
Yes, we're trying. We're trying. We're not trying too hard, though. Excuse me. Steve says, I am thankful for this little island of sensical thought we maintain, both online and in person. I am working most of the day for people who won't get to see family today for the most part. Steve works with, I almost said funeral homes, but this is not New York. This is not New York, where funeral homes and retirement homes are the same thing. Danny says, I'm going to be working and cooking all day, and I'm very thankful for the ability to do both. I am so very thankful for the freedom to hang out online and BS with my friends. And Danny, we're thankful for you. We love you, honey. Thanks for joining in. Fee says, you say that right after I get the kids started on schoolwork, the thing about education. Maw, Steve says, happy Thanksgiving to you. And I'm reading that comment to you because Maw's watching on Facebook and Steve's commenting on YouTube. So, this is also true.
I really like the way Danny phrased that, too. There's being thankful for the ability to do work and be productive. That is one of the biggest soul-stealing things that the Marxist left stamps out of people. There is divinity in being productive.
Dude, Fee just left a comment, and we might just have to get together and do this one. You know, I like the idea of doing parody songs anyway, but this one's so good that I'm going to write a note here on my desk. Fee says, I have the Sledgehammer song. I wanna be your band hammer.
Wow.
Oh yeah. So we're gonna have to buy some sledgehammers and paint them with YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter logos.
Wow. Wow. For you young kids, that back when MTV played music videos, that's a song by Peter Gabriel that was a not so subtle reference to his penis, the sledgehammer. But it was an amazing music video in a time when the art form was really coming into its own. And MTV used to do these fantastic countdowns every top 100 music videos of the year, and they do the top 100 music videos of all time. And that particular music video by Peter Gabriel was always in the top 10. And you should go check it out on YouTube. It's incredibly cool. I'm thankful that I grew up in a time when MTV still played music.
Is that what the M stands for?
You believe it or not?
Apparently, I'm
Yes.
not the. If you turn on MTV today, you'll see that apparently I'm not the only one that forgot.
uh, so yeah, just to kind of tie a bow around it, I'm more than happy to keep going for a few more minutes, but to just really tie a bow around it, we should all be thankful that deeply deeply religious people came to this country and embraced freedom and free markets and voluntary transactions. There's a phrase that I first heard used by the genius Mark Levin: mutually assured self interest, as in, I do what's best for me, you do what's best for you, and in so doing, the sum becomes greater than its parts because I am incentivized to see you succeed because that also contributes to my success. And that's what we should be thankful. All the things the left tells you to hate: the God, the guns, the freedom. And Steve's going to a place today that's locked down tight. And I've got a retirement community on my schedule for pest control, doing what I do. And I guarantee you, a lot of people in that retirement community would risk it if they could see their grandchildren.
Oh yeah, I'm having to readjust your frame because your data throughput just changed enough that one of the underlays popped up and it looked like your neck was on fire. Krista says, I'm thankful for finding a doctor who listened, having me back, feeling well enough to be a better mom, and the best family and friends support. We are also thankful that your situation is improving there, Krista. I won't go into it here, but Krista's had a couple of hiccups with the medical service of late, and we're glad to have her back. Um, by the way, Krista's not just an old friend of the show. She's an old personal friend to Cameron and I both. We all went to high school together. That we've kind of reconnected recently is its very own miracle, and I'm very thankful for that. Uh, I don't know exactly how the connection initially happened, but Krista and my wife, I think it was over homeschool stuff, but Krista and my wife connected on Facebook. And, when you've got kids, especially when you have an army of them like I do, the pictures that you put on Facebook tend to be pictures of your kids, not vainglorious selfies of you pretending to be at the beach using a cheap backdrop like the one that I used to make this show look so good. But they tend to be pictures of your kids. And as I understand the story, and maybe I can get Krista or Fee to tell the story more correctly sometime, but as I understand it, they were hanging out and chit-chatting with each other on Facebook for a little while, and then my wife was running a cookie booth with her Girl Scouts outside of the Starbucks in Conyers, and Krista walked up to the cookie booth and recognized my daughters and said, "Hey, you look like my friend's kids. You look just like my friend's kids." And Fee was standing right there. They didn't recognize each other. They recognized each other's kids. So yeah. I think that's about all I've got before it's time to go. Oh, hang on a second. Uncle Steve says, no, not deeply religious people. That's why they were leaving. People who wanted to have a personal relationship with God. Okay. No, hang on. I'm not going to dig into that too much. I think that's actually food for a very, very good conversation. And I think there's a good argument to be made there that more deeply religious people are more interested in a more personal relationship with God than in the pomp and circumstance and ritualism of a broader religiosity. That I'm going to leave that one be, Uncle Steve. I'm going to take note of it, and that might actually be a topic for its whole own show, because I've often argued on this show that no matter what a person's faith is, that Christianity, not just religion broadly, but Christianity in particular, is incredibly important to the maintenance of the American experiment, precisely because religion generally is the only efficient vehicle of morality to posterity, but Christianity specifically is the most efficient and established, and in many ways superior to the alternatives, religion which we have available to us in the United States currently. I've laid out several arguments for a few religions that I think would be better and more efficient for the purpose, but I've also laid out several arguments as to why Judaism is not sufficient to the task and why Islam must be rejected entirely. So that could be a whole another show again. We've done that show speaking about the philosophy of it. Maybe we can dig into the theology of it next time. So Steve says, have a wonderful day. I take it that means he has to get going. Love you, brother. Thanks for watching, and we will see you tomorrow. Holidays and Turkey Day aside, we will be here tomorrow morning for Firearms Friday. And I cannot 100% guarantee we will have a DRT tomorrow, but you better believe I'm going to be looking for one. Now, we are going to go ahead and wrap up. Before we do, I got a little bit of housekeeping for next, and I'm sorry, Cameron, this is going to be news to you, but next week, well, sort of, the surgery that I've been waiting on is going to be next week. So on Monday morning, I won't be available to do the show. I'm going to be driving to the VA. I need to be over there as early as I can be. I've got to go and get a COVID test and get labs drawn. I'm hoping that I get stabbed in the brain and they tell me that I've already had COVID. Uncle Steve said thank you, and now he's complaining that he can't type fast enough. It's okay. It's okay. But because I'm going to have to go get a COVID test to be ready for my surgery next week, we will not be doing a show on Monday, and then my surgery is on Thursday, so we will almost certainly not be doing a show on Thursday, and I'm not going to promise to do a show next Friday. There's a high degree of likelihood that I'll be okay to do a show next Friday, but I'm not going to make any promises. So we won't be here Monday, we won't be here Thursday next week, and we might be here Friday, but no promises. But I will make it a point to do the show Tuesday and Wednesday of next week.
Maybe we'll pre-record something.
We'll see. We'll see.
Since you get to spring the housekeeping on me, I get to spring the suggestions to get around the housekeeping on you.
Yeah, hey, no doubt. And Sunday might be a great day for us to do a pre-recorded show. Or 3.
We love you guys. We're very thankful to you. It is.
Sorry. I had to lean back to belly laugh because I didn't want to blow your speakers. I'm sorry. Danny says, dude, no Monday or Thursday show? How? Where will we steal material for Polytech? Danny, you're like every reporter in the mainstream media sitting there with a notepad, furiously scribbling while Rush Limbaugh's on.
But that's all I got. We love you guys. It's humbling and flattering to actually have
Absolutely.
fans.
Oh, hey, Angie Diagrapont popped in for just a second. Just popped in over here. So happy Turkey Day to Angie as well. Give my love to yours, all them kids and them chickens, and to Julius. Hopefully, Julius and I can start doing some gaming channels type stuff in the not too distant future. Once we get your machine up and running again, Cameron, we gonna have to explore some alternatives because there's a hell of a lot of comedy to be had in some of these.
Dude, there are still people doing Borderlands 2 challenges.
Oh, yeah. One of my favorites is, I would love to get all of us playing Arma 3. Steve's got it, I've got it. It's a little bit on the pricey range, but when it goes on sale, the sales are outrageous. I think it's like $25 right now for the whole thing. But Arma is a super realistic military simulator. So when you take the super realistic military simulator and you put a bunch of smartasses in there playing as the individual military operators in the super realistic simulator, where you could steal helicopters and blow things up with rocket launchers and drive tanks around, the opportunity for comedy when you have the super realism that makes it possible for there to be real, very realistic bad situations. Like, oh, I'm accidentally standing on an IED, and my only useful resource is this disembodied car door. Let's see how this turns out. All right. So, anyway, much love, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. Eat your hearts out, and we will see you tomorrow.